Have you ever wondered what makes a true hero? Is it strength? Is it power? Or is it the willingness to sacrifice everything for others? Today I bring you the inspiring story of a young Nigerian whose courage saved an entire village. A story of love, a story of sacrifice, a story of a hero named Afolabi. Music swells. This is Afolabi, the legend of courage. The peaceful village, show scene 1 image. Long ago, nestled among rolling hills, green forests, and winding rivers, stood a peaceful village. The people lived simple but happy lives. Farmers cultivated their lands, children played beneath giant mango trees, and every morning, laughter echoed through the dusty pathways. Among the villagers lived a young man named Afolabi. At only 20 years old, he had already earned the respect of everyone around him. Not because he was the strongest, not because he was the richest, but because he always put others before himself. The young teacher, show scene 2 image. Every afternoon, Afolabi gathered children beneath a large mango tree. There he taught them to read and write. He believed knowledge was a treasure no thief could steal. The children loved him, the elders admired him, and his kindness touched every corner of the village. But unknown to them, dark clouds were gathering beyond the mountains. The warning, show scene 3 image. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, a scout came running into the village, covered in dust, out of breath, terrified. The villagers gathered around him. With trembling lips, he delivered terrible news. Raiders were approaching. They had already destroyed neighboring villages, and now they were coming here. Fear spread like wildfire. Mothers clutched their children. Men exchanged worried glances. The peaceful life they cherished was about to be tested. A hero rises, show scene 4 image. That night, the elders gathered inside the chief's hut. The atmosphere was heavy. The village had very few warriors. There was little hope of victory. Then suddenly, Afolabi stood. His voice was calm, but his eyes burned with determination. "I will stay and fight." The room fell silent. The elders were shocked. He was young. His whole life was ahead of him. But Afolabi had already made his choice. If someone did not stand against the enemy, everyone would suffer. The farewell show scene 5 image. Before dawn, the villagers began preparing to leave. Women gathered supplies. Children were led toward a secret forest path. The elderly were helped onto carts. Then Afolabi turned to his mother. Tears filled her eyes. She knew the danger ahead. She embraced her son tightly. For a moment, neither spoke. Then she whispered, "My son, come back to me." Afolabi smiled gently, but deep inside, he knew the road before him might be his last. The last defense, show scene 6 image. As the first rays of sunlight touched the mountains, Afolabi and a handful of brave defenders took position at a narrow rocky pass. It was the only route into the village. If they could hold it, the villagers might escape safely. Soon, dust appeared on the horizon. The enemy had arrived. The odds were impossible. Yet Afolabi stood firm, spear in hand, shield raised, ready to defend his people, no matter the cost. The great battle, show scene 7 image. The battle began. Steel clashed. Dust filled the air. War cries echoed through the mountains. Wave after wave of attackers charged forward. But Afolabi and his defenders refused to yield. Though wounded and exhausted, they continued fighting. Every minute they survived meant more villagers reaching safety. Every sacrifice meant another child would live. But eventually, the enemy began breaking through. Time was running out. The ultimate sacrifice, show scene 8 image. Then Afolabi saw something. High above the battlefield stood a massive unstable rock formation. An idea flashed through his mind. Ignoring his wounds, he climbed toward the cliff. Each step drained his remaining strength. Below him, the enemy advanced. Behind him, innocent villagers fled for safety. At the top, he looked back one final time. He saw children running, mothers carrying babies, families escaping, and he smiled. They were safe. Gathering every ounce of strength left in his body, Afolabi pushed. The giant rocks broke free. A thunderous landslide roared down the mountain. The pass collapsed. The attackers were stopped. The village was saved, but Afolabi never returned. A grateful people. Show scene 9 image. Days later, the villagers returned. Their homes still stood. Their families were safe, but their hero was gone. To honor his sacrifice, they built a monument in the village square. Children gathered there to hear his story. Elders spoke his name with pride, and generations grew up inspired by his courage. A legend forever. Show scene 10 image. Years passed. The village flourished. New generations were born. But one thing never changed. The story of Afolabi, the young man who gave everything for his people. His courage became a beacon. His sacrifice became a lesson. His legacy became eternal. Because heroes do not live forever, but their impact does. And as long as stories are told, Afolabi will never be forgotten. Outro, emotional music rises. If Afolabi's story inspired you, remember this. True courage is not the absence of fear. True courage is choosing to do what is right, even when it costs everything. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share this story so that the legend of Afolabi continues to inspire generations around the world.